For the Spanish context, we also did a survey. It was an online survey, and we did the survey for all of the countries. And in the survey, we wanted to more or less map several notions of museum mediation, and we wanted to see we wanted to portray who works as a museum mediators and which notions do professionals have of museum mediation. And at the same time, in order to validate this survey, we did 3 in-depth interviews, and that actually we interviewed 11 people. We decided the survey for 3 positions. One is from museum director of mediation or education, the other one is for mediators, and the other one is for people that train mediators at the university level. And from that, what we actually found, then we kind of validated both the survey and the interviews. And we found that 79% are women, that it's a feminized profession. We actually knew this in advance, but now we have more data. And we also found that they are from 30 to 39 years old. They come mainly from the humanities field, but we still have some people that come from like an educational background, an art educational background, because most of the people that answer the survey mainly come, that work in museums, of course, mainly come from the humanities field. So we found this, and we also found that it's still not a profession where theory and practice come together. It's a profession that in museums they still rely on, let's say, discipline content. I don't want to say collections-based content because it depends on the museum, or either they work in a collections-based or temporary exhibit-based, but what we found is something that we kind of knew in advance, which is that most museum mediators, they think that their work is to act as a bridge, but on the other hand, to act as a bridge means collaboration with different museum, let's say communities or local authorities or groups, but on the other hand, what we found is that their actual work is to organize guided tours and workshops. So we found a little bit of a contradiction here. One of another of our interviews said that a museum mediator is a provocateur and a piece, somebody that provokes, somebody that makes you, think things in other ways, or makes you reflect it in, let's put it, critical terms, but it could be from other perspectives. And another museum mediator in the interviews said that audiences are always, visitors, he said, are always experts in something. And I think that's a really good point, because sometimes we in museums, with this format of content, exhibit development, and then mediation, at the end or in the middle, sometimes visitors are not seen as experts in something. And she said, in something could be in sewing or could be in whatever. So I think it's very interesting from, let's say, a much more social point of view. Okay, some of the recommendations that I found with the interviewees is that they need more references for the profession. They would like to know, that's a topic that I thought it was very interesting. They would like to know more how to document educational programs, how to document mediation, so that you can, show what you've done. Not only what you've done, but the process. And then they would like to have more knowledge on methodology and on research, on educational research practice, and at the same time be able to research their own education practices in order to be able to generate new knowledge or other knowledge. Another interviewee said that she would like to be able to register, systematize, reflect, and articulate mediator's practice, so that she has, a complex notion of it. And at the same time, they talk about evaluation, but from different angles, not only like unidirectional evaluation. And most of them agree that doing a project on case studies, as we are doing, is a good way of posing problems within the profession, and it's a good way of a good initiative for research. So I think I'm very like it. I thought it was very interesting what they said. And on the other hand, for me, this case studies was also a healing process for them and for me, because a long time ago I also started from the floor, and I really like the floor, but I needed some more. I felt that I was being mistreated by, well, even the people that were doing the departments, and I felt that I needed a lot of theory. More than theory, I needed to understand what was going on. Why was I doing that? Why was I being uncomfortable in a specific situation? So it's been also a way of seeing that that you can change things if you start asking questions to yourself. And if you're willing to, live what you think is best, and you start focusing and exploring other ways of doing things. And that's why I choose them. And I said it's a healing process for all of them, because most of them, as I said, I think they are very good museum mediators. They are very powerful in their discourse, in their practices. They have contributed, or their contributions are very strong in museum mediation field in Spain, but sometimes they are not as recognized as they should.